Hi, I'm Mike Martin, former Detroit Catholic Central Shamrock and Michigan Wolverine, and current Tennessee Titan. And you're watching State Champs, the home of high school sports.
State Champs is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughrazor.com for details. The Detroit Sports Commission, where champions are made and championships are played. Log on to DetroitSports.org. Our friends with the UAW and Chrysler. Warrior Sports, Cross the Line, and Pirani's Hockey World. 14 Michigan locations. Go to hockeyworld.com for info.
Hey everybody, welcome to State Champs High School Sports Show, Michigan's home for the best in high school sports. We're presented by Lawrence Technological University. I'm Lauren Plant. Well, it doesn't get any bigger or better on the basketball court in a rivalry than Saginaw Arthur Hill taking on Saginaw. That is our Detroit Sports Commission main event. This is the first of 3 matchups this season that are going to be very memorable. Saginaw may be closing its doors. We hope not, but stay tuned for the main event. Pirani's Hockey Superstore is the hockey toy store. I need to tell you, do you know about the man behind the brand? That's in focus. Let's begin this show on the basketball court. Let's begin the full court press. We begin with one of the top games of the week from the Detroit Public School League. West Division matchup, Henry Ford on the road to take on the very talented squad representing Western International. Henry Ford also doing very well this season. We've got the Trojans ranked 5th in the state in Class B, led by one of the top contenders for Mr. PSL this year, the Western Michigan commit Josh Davis. First one didn't go down, can't give him 2 good looks now. Davis will make you pay. But Western is our top team in the entire state in any class. Unbeaten coming in, Kareem Murray just kicking it in the corner, 3 ball in the side pocket. Cowboys led by a commanding 19, 39-20 at halftime. Western continued to push, Braylon Neely by his lonesome and the layup. Neely finished with a game-high 21, later through 3 defenders, the hoop and the harm. Detroit Western International beats Henry Ford in convincing fashion. 72-55 the final. Let's take a 10-hour drive up north now, where Jerry Taylor is waiting.
Thanks, Lauren. In Iron Mountain, the Mountaineers hosted Negaunee with first place in the Mid-Peninsula Conference standings on the line. Second quarter, tied at 8. Dre Tumanen gets it back to Rob Lloyd, who buries the 3, 11-8 in favor of the Miners. After that, the Mountaineers took over. Tanner Hootery open on the far wing for 3. He hits it, tying the game once again. And the band was happy. More from Iron Mountain. Hootery feeds Jake Tommen, who makes a brilliant pass to Brock Grenier for the hoop and the harm. And look at the emotion on Jake Tommen's face. He wants this one. To the third, Iron Mountain in control. Off the miss, Carson Wonders gets the rebound and a putback to go. In fact, Mr. Wonders was on a mission in this one. He was relentless, finishing with a game-high 16 points. Iron Mountain's defense held Negaunee to a season-low 17 points to get the win in a 1-game lead in the conference standings. Next up, let's go to Lansing for some more boys basketball. Here's Kevin Gale.
Thanks, Jerry. One of the best big men in mid-Michigan, Tony Poljan, sitting out with a sprained ankle. Lansing Catholic hoping he'll be back next week. Catholic on the road here, visiting Waverly, where Michael Corey picks up the slack for Poljan. But it's Waverly taking a 15-point lead in the third quarter. Great jump-through move by Jaden Sutton. He rolls it in for 2. Moments later, here comes the play of the game. Joey Feda goes high off the glass, no good. But if at first you don't succeed, try again. Hoop and harm. Waverly lead cut to 6. but late in the fourth quarter, Waverly starts pulling away thanks to some petty theft. First, Sutton gets the steal and feeds Lavelle Fomby for the roll-in. Then, the Warriors get greedy again. Sutton, all by himself this time. Waverly nearly gives up a big lead, but a strong finish by the Warriors protects the home court as Craig Fields and his team get the win, 66-54. Let's stay in the CAAC, another cross-division battle as Holt plays host to Hazlitt. Hard to find a more exciting guard around Lansing than Brandon Allen. 29 points for Hazlitt in this one. Early on, though, this game looks more like a track meet. Vontrell Jackson on the fast break, spins it to Trent Stone, little love from the rim, and one. Then Jackson does it all by his lonesome, hits the little jumper, but this one goes into overtime, and in the extra frame, Hazlitt handles business. Great work on the baseline here by Derek Roblack. Vikings win it 77-76. Last but not least, we go to the GAC for a battle of top 10 teams in girls Class D. Number 6 Morris hosting number 1 Flint Hamady. Stingy defense for Hamady creates all kinds of turnovers. Aaliyah Hill snags it, then connects with Deshae Cofield for the finish. Hamady up 14 right away. Clock ticking away in the quarter. The bank is open for Avery Monroe, but Morris just can't keep up with one of the best teams in all of Michigan. Cofield buries a triple. That grows the lead to 23, and Flint Hamady wins big, 54-29. Hawks remain undefeated. Now let's go west with Ryan Terpstra.
We finish in the KVA, Galesburg Augusta at Schoolcraft. First quarter, Emma Herr with the steal for Schoolcraft. She's going to push it ahead, pulls up for 2, and the senior led the Eagles with 20 points. Galesburg Augusta would charge ahead. The Rams go inside to Leah Savage, and the senior center going glass for the hoop. She led her squad with 10. Later, the Rams showing off their defensive skills. Herr passes it up ahead to Hunter Hart, but she is rejected by Catherine Dooley. Galesburg Augusta only gave up 4 first quarter points. But Schoolcraft kept chipping away, and finally they pulled away. Sarah Wisser hits the 3. She had 10 points, 11 boards for the Eagles as Schoolcraft hands Galesburg Augusta their first conference loss, 45-36 in double overtime. For the Full Court Press, I'm Ryan Terpstra.
Of course, we hope you enjoyed the 3rd annual State Champs Signing Day special on Fox Sports Detroit Saturday morning. But we do move right along with this recruiting game. Wednesday is National Signing Day, and Michigan State is looking to close strong. I'm Kyle Bogenschutz with this week's Recruit Report. The Spartans pick up 3 commitments this week, beginning with Drake Martinez. He's the brother of former Nebraska quarterback Taylor Martinez. A lot of speed in that family. He actually picked Nebraska over Michigan State originally, ended up at a junior college. He's now transferring over to Michigan State, a young man who will factor into the backfield, that no-fly zone up in East Lansing. They also pick up a pair of commitments from brothers Andrew and David Dahl, the young men from Cleveland St. Edwards down in Ohio. There are a couple of kids that were committed to Kentucky for quite some time. David, of course, is a young man who will play cornerback, could factor in at wide receiver in that 6'1", 180-pound range. Then you look at a guy like Andrew, played a lot of running back in high school, could factor in there. It looks like maybe his future could be on defense. The major attention this week will be fixated on Mike Weber, of course, senior running back out of Detroit Cass Tech. He's committed to Ohio State, but Michigan and Jim Harbaugh making a very big push to try and sign him before signing day. Jim Harbaugh did meet with him for lunch this week. That is what I do know. What I don't know is what he's ultimately going to do. I think he's got a lot to think about. He's gone silent, not talking to many reporters, not wanting to put anything out there. It will be very interesting to see if he goes with his original decision to commit to Michigan or stick with what he went with Ohio State. A couple other things. Tight end Chris Clark, who we've talked about quite a bit on this show. He'll make his announcement on National Signing Day. It's between Michigan and UCLA. With this week's Recruit Report, I'm Kyle Bogenschutz.
Hey State Champs fans, I'm Stephanie. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. If you missed any of our State Champs Signing Day special, stay tuned right after this at 9:30 and check your guide for the re-air dates on Monday and Tuesday. Stay with us.
We want you.
We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anyone.
We want the brainiacs, visionaries, geniuses, and game changers. We want the students who will change the world through technology, science, business, and design.
So if you're ready to explore your possibilities,
We want you at LTU.
Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
The Detroit Sports Commission Prep Kickoff Classic, presented by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, returns to the campus of Wayne State University August 27th through the 29th with 3 days of action-packed games featuring the state's top teams and players. Matchups and ticket information coming soon. The Prep Kickoff Classic is brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, the Marines, Community Bowling Centers, and Performance Orthopedics. Log on to DetroitSports.org for more information.
Online ordering is so fast and easy with Hungry Howie's. You can do it from any device.
Any device? Like this fax machine?
No.
What about this 19th century cell phone? 2 cans on a string. Your mom's car phone. Megaphone! Dash, 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 pizza. Pineapple and ham radio.
Say see you to the phone call and oh yeah to fast and easy online ordering. Get a free medium pizza with your first online order. Now that's an idea.
Hungry Howie's!
Welcome back to State Champs. You hockey fans, you know that Perani's Hockey Superstore is the place to get the best and best priced equipment for hockey and lacrosse for that matter. But did you know there's a great story behind the man who built 14 Michigan locations and 9 more across the U.S. and Canada? Let's go in focus.
On December 6, 2014, Bob Perani was inducted into the Greater Flint Area Sports Hall of Fame. The founder of Perani's Hockey World was a professional goaltender who played a number of years with the Flint Generals. His introduction to hockey as a youngster came when 9-year-old Bob and his family emigrated all the way from Italy to Toronto, Canada.
He learned to start playing hockey because he was the youngest on the street. So they strapped newspapers to his leg and basically put him in net while all the other neighborhood kids, basically, they played street hockey and he was forced to be the goalie.
About 6 years later, Bob was drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs. He chose instead to play college hockey and had an All-American career at St. Lawrence University. From there, Bob was brought to Michigan by the Muskegon Mohawks, won a Turner Cup with them before being traded to a struggling Flint squad.
Next year they made the playoffs, and it just became a snowball effect where then the team started performing better and they brought in better players around my dad. And he was voted most valuable player by the team 3 or 4 years in a row.
After he hung up his skates, Bob wanted hockey to remain a part of his life, but how best to make that happen?
There was a closeout of hockey equipment in Chicago. So he pulled together some money and went to Chicago and purchased a large closeout of hockey equipment. And that was the beginning of the family getting into the hockey retail business.
And that business has boomed ever since. Perani's Hockey World now has 21 U.S. stores, plus 3 in Canada. At every location, the commitment to service and to the customer captures the legacy of Bob Perani.
Make sure to follow State Champs on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We're always breaking news in high school sports. We're going to stick with hockey and head to the power play.
We're developing this year. We're developing. Well, 1-7 to start, 4-4 since. I'd say that's development. I say it's much more consistent.
East Grand Rapids trying to avenge an early season loss to Muskegon Mona Shores. First period, Shores with the puck. Connor Edlin finds a streaking Isaiah Bathrick behind the D for the easy goal, and the Sailors jump ahead 1-0. Second period now, Shores on the power play. A little give and go between Carter O'Neill and Trevor Adams. He sneaks it past the goalie, and the Sailors' lead is now 2. Mona Shores really controlled this one from start to finish. O'Neill sets up Adams again for his second of the game. Sailors shut out East Grand Rapids 4-0. We finished the power play with a KLAA crossover matchup as Northville was on the road to take on the Rocks of Plymouth-Salem. Northville in black coming in at 12-2-2, and they are ranked 7th in Division I, coming out on fire as Alex Malucci risks it from the point, one of his 2 goals on the evening. That puts the Mustangs up 1-0. The Northville offense kept on churning in the first period. Riley Brass backhands it in front to Brendan Hicks. He puts his name on the score sheet, and the Mustangs now up by 3. Salem trying to get back in it with 1:15 to go in the opening period. They're on the power play, but Kyle Abraham gets the interception. He's all alone on the breakaway, puts it into the back of the net. Northville cruising up 4-0 after 1. It was all Mustangs on this night. PJ Schnepp goes on in. He visits the red light district. Northville goes on to beat Salem. 8-2 is the final. I'm Ryan Terpstra, and that is the power play.
All right, time now for a rivalry edition of The Buzz. Tom Markowski joining me here at Saginaw Arthur Hill High School. It's the Lumberjackets taking on Saginaw. And Tom, your memories, you've covered this game for 4 decades. What immediately comes to mind when you think about this rivalry?
Well, I remember coming here about 8 years ago when some of the great teams would come to Arthur Hill, and it's just like it is tonight, Lauren. The gym is packed. You can't get a seat. The JV game is packed. They're cheering for the JV game. These communities are so locked together. There's a river, Saginaw River divides these 2 high schools, and there is a big rivalry that goes on each side of that river. It goes back so long ago, 1942 with Saginaw winning a state title. These teams have competed in 15 state titles, and that's huge because they play each other every year in the districts. You know, you go to Jason Richardson, Lamar Woodley, we can go on and on about the great players that have played in this rivalry.
That's right, Draymond Green. It doesn't end. There's no doubt about it. All right, we're going to go to break. When we come back, it's the Ultimate Sports Blitz right here on State Champs.
We want you.
We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anyone.
We want the brainiacs, visionaries, geniuses, and game changers. We want the students who will change the world through technology, science, business, and design.
So if you're ready to explore your possibilities,
We want you at LTU.
Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
Welcome to Pirani's Hockey World, the toy store for hockey players. They have been outfitting beginners, professionals, and teams since 1976. Pirani's has an experienced, knowledgeable staff, the largest selection, and simply the best prices. In fact, Pirani's has the best price guarantee. Now, if you can find a better price, they will beat it by 5%. Come to one of their 22 locations or log on to hockeyworld.com for amazing savings and to join the Pirani's E-Club for special offers all year long. It's always hockey season at Pirani's.
We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. When we sit down together, we share our expertise. You've got a legal problem, we know you need relief. Advice that you can trust, that's why people come to us. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
I'm Drew Brees, and being a dad means the world to me. And one of the most important things any parent can do is make sure their kids get active at least 60 minutes each day. Studies show that physical activity not only helps kids stay healthy, it can enhance important skills like concentration and problem solving, which can improve academic performance. This means physical activity can help your kids in the most important game of all, life.
Time now to take a look at the latest from Lawrence Tech. This past weekend was signing day at LTU, and Coach Will Dyer of the men's soccer team once again did a wonderful job with some of the new recruits for the 2015 season. First up is Kevin Wright from Linden High School, who will be majoring in electrical engineering at LTU. Kevin decided to come to Lawrence Tech for not only the size, but for the opportunity to help grow the program.
It was small and I liked it, and I knew that the chances for it to becoming bigger was definitely in the program because of the coaches doing well, and I just feel like it will be a better program in the future.
Next is Farmington Hills Harrison's very own Daniel Kagan. Kagan is majoring in civil engineering and architecture after getting some hands-on experience at LTU through its awesome summer programs.
I worked here for a couple summers in the civil engineering building, so I got to learn a lot about engineering and I liked it.
The next recruit of the day was Dane Fernandez of Rochester Adams High School. And with lots of family connections to the university, Dane's decision was an easy one.
First of all, my dad works here, so I've always had like a pretty good connection with the school. And then when my brother came here 3 years ago, it just drew me in the direction.
And Fernandez wasn't the only recruit with family connections. Alec Nestorovsky of Utica Ford, who will be majoring in mechanical engineering, said his LTU pride runs deep in the family as well.
My dad came here and my uncle came here, so a bunch of people from the family. And they just had a good program for everything in soccer. I was interested.
To stay up to date on Lawrence Tech soccer or any other LTU sport, head to LTUathletics.com. For State Champs, I'm Stephanie Funkhauser.
Let's start the Ultimate Sports Blitz with an assembly wrestling match. Richmond High School hosting the state champions in Division II, Lowell, and Division IV, New Lothrop. The Richmond Blue Devils ranked second in Division III, facing off here against Lowell. This was a back and forth match throughout at 189. Brady LaFour from the Blue Devils taking on Logan Blau. Here, LaFour gets the job done with the pin. But the defending D2 state champs Lowell would win 3 of the last 4 matches. Here at 145, Jordan Hall only needed 48 seconds to get the pin over Dominic Bastian. Red Arrows went on to win this dual meet. New Lothrop from the Flint area coming in at number 1 in the state in D4, taking care of business over the host school from Richmond, as this was a good test for districts are just around the corner. Next up, a puppy at the pool, the Granville Bulldogs hosting Holland West Ottawa in boys swimming. 200-yard IM, West Ottawa's Kyle Maas blasting through the field on his way to a 15-second victory. Panthers also feature the best swimmer in the state, Taban Afri. The senior cruises to the wall in the 50, then again in his leg of the 400 relay, the Notre Dame commit, helping West Ottawa pick up an OK Red Conference win. We finish with bowling. Grand Rapids Northview facing Grand Rapids South Christian. On the boys' side, this is Nick Lovejoy rolling for Northview. He gets the strike. But South was led by Brennan Proudfit. Strong roll here to sit all of them down. Sailors win the boys' match. To the girls, Krista Van Sledwright, the anchor and the leader for South Christian. However, Northview would get the best of the Sailors. Catherine Keene with the strike, and the Wildcat girls get the victory. That's your Blitz.
Thanks for sticking with us here on State Champs. Coming up is our main event in boys basketball. Saginaw takes on Saginaw Arthur Hill. You won't want to miss it.
Fundraising should be fresh, flavorful, and simple. We have the perfect solution at Hungry Howie's, Dough Raiser. Your nonprofit organization can sell paper pizza certificates that your customers can redeem for 1 medium pizza at participating Hungry Howie's locations. Go to doughraiser.com to learn about, sign up for, and order everything Dough Raiser. Request a Dough Raiser kit for your group today. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Welcome to Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser.
I got popcorn.
I love Move It trailers.
Me too.
This winter, if you're going to die, die nasty. Fear the power of the Warrior Dynasty.
Holy sh**.
The Detroit Sports Commission Prep Kickoff Classic, presented by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, returns to the campus of Wayne State University August 27th through the 29th, with 3 days of action-packed games featuring the state's top teams and players. Matchups and ticket information coming soon. The Prep Kickoff Classic is brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, the Marines, Community Bowling Centers, and Performance Orthopedics. Log on to DetroitSports.org for more information. Welcome back to State Champs. It's time now for the much anticipated main event of the program. Well, as typical every season, Saginaw and Arthur Hill is one of the greatest rivalries in the state. Both teams come into this matchup undefeated in the Saginaw Valley North Division. Now, for the last 3 years, these teams have met 3 times on the court. Arthur Hill has won the first matchup, but it's been Saginaw who won the rematch and the playoff matchup. This event It's a sellout. No tickets available at the door, but you get a front row seat. Arthur Hill defending the home court. Their biggest rival in the gym, the Trojans of Saginaw. The home favored Lumberjacks 6th in our power rankings. The Hill in white came out blazing. Helps when you have a Mr. Basketball candidate. The Texas recruit Eric Davis all alone for the Jam. Game high 23 points for Mr. Davis. Lumberjacks led 18-10 after the first. Saginaw High has had the Hill's number in the playoffs over the past few years, beating them the last 3 times in the districts. Wide open look for the senior Javon Pratt. Triple, he finished the night in double figures. But back comes the jack, the turnover. Davis will lob to the sophomore Brian Bowen. The improvisation. Bowen with a double-double night that included 19 rebounds. Arthur Hill up 42-29 at the half. Saginaw made a third quarter run due to 10 Arthur Hill turnovers. Jordan Caffey to Ronquavia southward, drills it from downtown. Trojans got as close as 7 heading into the fourth. But Arthur Hill exploded in the final quarter, dropping 32. Davis dishes to Nate Moore to the 10. Moore from Davis. Another assist, this time to the junior Billy Burton. 16-point night for Billy. Arthur Hill takes down Saginaw in the first of 3 that will end this rivalry. 88-66, the final in this one.
All right, our player of the game, none other than Eric Davis. Eric, I know how much this rivalry must mean to you to win at home. They got close, but you guys held it up.
You know, it was a good win. You know, like I said, it's just one bump in the road. You know, so we just moving on to the next game. This is regular season, so I'm just trying to get my guys prepared for districts. You know, that's all that matters. You know, districts, everybody's 0-0. So what you do in the regular season doesn't matter. So right now, we're gonna celebrate the win to midnight, and just go back in the lab tomorrow. Let's get ready.
The main event is presented by the Detroit Sports Commission, dedicated to enhancing the local economy and the image of Metro Detroit, hosting amateur sporting events. Go to DetroitSports.org for details. If you missed yesterday's State Champs Signing Day special, well then you missed the debut of our brand new set here inside the State Champs Sports Network studios. However, if you missed this show, it's going to air a couple of more times today, Super Bowl Sunday, also on Monday and on Tuesday. Check the guide on Fox Sports Detroit. Now I want to send a quick shout out, speaking of the show, to of course Joe Garbarino, to DJ Zazula, to Marcus Grimes, and also to Grant Perry, all of them who committed on the show yesterday. As for us here at State Champs, in all our glory, we'll see you next week right here. State Champs is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughraiser.com for details. The Detroit Sports Commission, where champions are made and championships are played. Log on to DetroitSports.org. Our friends with the UAW and Chrysler. Warrior Sports, Cross the Line, and Perani's Hockey World. 14 Michigan locations. Go to hockeyworld.com for info.